When do you finally realize that you have been the cause of most of the situations you found yourself in? One reason is that you keep placing people on a pedestal who were never even supposed to be close to you. You added traits to their character, you gave them qualities, intelligence, depth, and importance that they did not even have, just to make them feel good, or maybe to make yourself feel good about keeping them around. The desire to have someone close to you, someone by your side, was so strong and powerful that it blocked your mind from seeing the truth. And the truth is, more than half of the people you thought were so smart were never as smart as you convinced yourself they were. The signs were there, the choices they made, the way they handled problems, the way they treated other people, the way they avoided responsibility, the way they repeated the same mistakes over and over again. The evidence was there, but instead of seeing it for what it was, you kept explaining it away. You kept giving them the benefit of the doubt. You kept translating the poor decisions into something deeper, wiser, more meaningful than it actually were. You confused potential for reality. You confused familiarity for value. You confused your hopes for who they could become with who they actually were. And in doing so, you gave people credit they never earned. And what does that say about you? Well, I'm caring. I'm so much caring that yeah, you're blind. You're blind by all the kindness. I want to see the good in the people. I want to believe in them. I want to give them the room to grow, room to make mistakes, and room to be understood. There is kindness in that. Don't get me wrong. But kindness without awareness can become self abandonment. When I ignore reality in order to protect someone else's self image, I stop protecting myself. When I keep making excuses for people, I stop asking better questions about what their presence is costing me. When I focus only on their potential, I lose sight of their actions. Not because I'm weak, not because I'm foolish, but because the same qualities that make me caring can also make me vulnerable. Without balance and honesty, the moment I had to see them clearly for who they are would also be the moment I'd have to make different choices for myself. And at the time, I wasn't ready for that. Once you remove yourself from that confusion, you start seeing clearly how much you've allowed weird, selfish, careless people to take charge of your life. You allow them to enter your space, control your mind, influence your choice, and rule over your heart. Isn't that devastating? You put yourself at risk. You allow yourself to experience shame, pain, emotional damage because you wanted to believe so badly that these people were special. And the saddest part is, while you are still dealing with the emotional consequence, they have already moved on, far away. They're not sitting there thinking deeply about what happened. They're not carrying any burden. They're not reflecting the way you are. Meanwhile, you're sitting there thinking about hours, days, months, years. Let's be honest, years wasted, not spent. Thinking You're thinking about the emotional pain you had to push down only for it to rise back up again. Now you have to carry the burden of everything you ignored, everything you excused, everything you've allowed. You're thinking about the physical situations you put yourself in. You're looking back at financial situations you created for yourself. So many choices could have gone completely differently if only you had not placed the wrong people on a pedestal. And if we're being honest, this doesn't only happen in romantic relationships. It can happen in your friend group too. That one useless person, unreliable, selfish, draining, disrespectful, maybe even evil. And still, you choose to put them on a pedestal. Why? Because you tell yourself, well, I've known them for so long. Well, I like them. We used to do this and that together. But at some point, you have to grow up. History is not enough reason to keep someone close. Familiarity is not enough reason to ignore reality. Nostalgia is not a reason to keep giving people access to your life when they have already shown you how they are and who they are. One thing I've learned very clearly is this: stop pleasing people and stop placing people on a pedestal. Stop placing them on a pedestal and calling them extraordinary when they are not. Some people are average. Some people are careless. Some people are selfish. Some people are simply not who you try to make them to become in your mind. And if you are anything like me, be careful not to let your kindness become blindness. Being caring is a strength. Seeing the good in people is a strength. Giving people grace is a strength. Those strengths can those strengths can lead you into painful situations when you are not grounded in reality. You can be kind and still be honest. You can be compassionate and still have standards. You can care about people without giving them the place in your life that they have not earned. Stop using history, familiarity, potential, or nostalgia as an excuse to ignore the truth. Grow up. Not by becoming colder, but by becoming clearer. Make a confident choice.